Hi again. This next tutorial takes us through creating question banks and quizzes out of them. But today we'll just briefly look at a few types of questions that Canvas provides to us, and we'll look at the other types of questions as we continue in other tutorials. So the first thing we'll do is click on quizzes on the left side, and you'll notice that I've created a number of quizzes for demonstration purposes. But at this particular point in the index page, if there's nothing, that this is the first time you're doing this index page will actually be empty, and you can be able to add a quiz. But before I do add this quiz, I would rather that we start off by having question banks. Question banks are a very versatile way that Canvas has given us to be able to put in a lot of questions and then set quizzes out of them. And the beauty about this is that the questions will be picked randomly, and hence student A will have a different set of questions from student B, and that also brings in a bit of objectivity for the students as they are doing this particular assessment. So this is a second way in which you can be able to create your assignment. So I will click on the settings tool here and select manage question banks, and notice I already have a number of question banks, but I could add a question bank. I'll be required to type in a name for the question bank, and since we have this, so sourced 2, and I'll call it question bank 2. Question bank 2, and I press the enter key. So I have the question bank 2, that's the name, but you'll notice I don't have any questions in it. So I will click on the name of the question bank so that it opens up my question bank for me now to add each of the questions into the bank. So at this point I can add a question, and as I mentioned, we'll look at 3 types of questions in this particular tutorial, and we'll look at the remaining in other tutorials. So I will start off by clicking on add a question, and one of the types that Canvas provides is multiple choice. We have true, false, fill in the blank, fill in multiple blanks, all the way to file upload questions. So I will start off with multiple choice question. It would be good to have a naming scheme for your questions, and I'll maybe have it as Q1 for my first question. Then I can have various types of because it's a multiple choice question, I can even provide how many points it is. So I will just get into a site that allows me to get MCQs for research methods, and I have a number, so I'll just copy paste some just for demonstration purposes. So I can do that, come here and type that as my question, and from here I have to give the options. So notice this, I'm just copying from another site, but remember, as a lecturer you might be having your questions with multiple choice questions already. So I'll just type this, I think it's faster that way. So I have my question there, and I have 4 options. By default, Canvas picks the first option as the correct answer. So let me just assume that the correct answer picks, for example, Data analysis. So this is my, let's assume that it is a correct answer. So I will actually move my mouse pointer over it and click on it so that you can be able to set it as the correct answer. Now you'll notice that there are some multiple choice questions that you have more than 4 options or even less than 4 options. So Canvas does allow you to add another answer if you'd like to have 5 options or 6 options. And in the same way, you can be able to delete. So anytime you move your mouse pointer over each of the possible answers, there's a delete icon at the right corner, which I can click on and have deleted. So I'm back to my 4 options. Once I'm happy with that, I can be able to click on update question. So you have your first question here, and you could click on this particular checkbox to show what the question is together with its options. The second type of question that Canvas gives us, or the Digital Campus provides to us, is the true or false question. So again, I'll give it a particular name. Remember, I've chosen the naming scheme Q. Then I can select now true or false. So I can maybe select maybe true false questions. So fine, so I have just picked another site that I could be able to maybe just pull up some questions from. And yeah, so here the research objective, the question, and again by default the true is what is, the first option is what is selected. So if, for example, the correct answer is false, once again you move your mouse pointer right over false, you'll notice the green arrow, which when you click, and you'll also notice that tooltip which says click to set this answer as correct. And once you're done with that, you can click on this and then you update your question. So now you have your second question, which is a true and false question. I'll also look at how we can create an essay question. So I'll click on add a question. I'll have Q3. And now instead of true or false, I will select essay question. I can maybe write briefly describe the research process, and I could give it, let's say, 7 points. And because it's an essay question, what the system does for the student is that they will enable an editor on the student side for them to be able to answer that question. So once you're done with that, you can click on update question. So that's the fourth type of question that Canvas or Digital Campus provides. I'll look at one final type of question, and we can look at the others in the next tutorial. So I can click on add a question, and I will again use a naming scheme Q4, and a file upload question is what I'm selecting. So I'll click on file upload, and I can type in my question. For example, pick a topic of your choice. And write the problem statement. And its objectives. Now at this particular point, remember, they will have to type their work in a different file altogether. They could write it on a paper and then capture it using their phone's camera and be able to upload that. So for you as a lecturer, all you want is them answering this question on a different document, and then they're able to upload it. Once you're done with that, for example, of course I have to change my points. Maybe let's make it 5 points. And once you're done, you click on update question. So those are the 4 types of questions for this particular tutorial. We have the multiple choice question, you have the true false question, you have the essay question, and you have the file upload question. So the rest comes in the next tutorial. Thank you.